In the world of retail media, there's one metric that seems to rule them all. Return on ad spend, ROAS. But what if I told you that obsessively chasing a high ROAS could actually be the very thing holding your brand back? Today, we're going to look beyond ROAS and find a much better path to real sustainable growth.
So, let me ask you this, and be honest. When you're judging how well your campaigns are doing, is ROAS the first thing you look at? Is it your team's North Star? If you're nodding along, you're definitely not alone, but it might just be time for a rethink.
And look, let's be real. ROAS is pretty seductive. It's simple to get your head around, you see the results in real time, and your finance team absolutely loves it. For every dollar you put in, how many dollars come out? It just feels like a safe, predictable way to measure success, right? But there's a huge hidden danger in that simplicity. So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll talk about why ROAS is so alluring. Then we'll uncover the hidden growth trap it creates. After that, I'll introduce a much better growth formula, show you exactly how chasing ROAS breaks that formula, and then we'll map out a smarter way to move forward.
All right, let's dive right in. Let's talk about this hidden growth trap. And I know this might sound a little strange, but a really high ROAS can actually be a massive red flag, a signal that your long-term growth is in serious jeopardy. This quote really just gets to the heart of the whole issue. An obsession with ROAS can literally keep your brand small. And why is that? Well, it's because it pushes you to focus only on the easy wins instead of the one thing that truly drives growth, bringing in new customers.
And this slide perfectly illustrates the fundamental misunderstanding. See, ROAS is an efficiency metric. It's not a growth metric. It's fantastic at telling you how efficiently you captured a sale, but it tells you absolutely nothing about whether that sale was incremental or if you actually acquired a new customer who's going to drive your future growth. All it does is maximize credit for that final click, not for expanding your whole business.
Think about it like this for a second. Imagine you hire someone to just stand inside the entrance of your store. Their only job is to tap every single customer on the shoulder as they walk in. At the end of the day, they come up to you and claim credit for every single sale made in the entire store. That's basically what a ROAS-obsessed strategy does. It gives all the credit to the final touch point, like branded search or retargeting, for customers who are probably going to buy from you anyway. So this obsession, it leads to some really serious pitfalls. You end up targeting your most loyal customers instead of finding new ones. You slash the budget for awareness campaigns that actually build your brand. And maybe worst of all, a high ROAS can hide major problems under the surface, giving you this false sense of security while your actual growth grinds to a complete halt.
So, okay, if ROAS is the problem, then what's the solution? Well, we can actually find a much better way forward by looking at the growth formula used by one of the biggest retailers on the planet, Amazon.
And here it is. It's simple, but it is incredibly powerful. Your total ordered revenue is a product of three key things: glance views times your conversion rate times your average selling price. It's that simple. If you can move any one of these levers up, your revenue grows. This totally shifts the focus from just ad spend efficiency to the real, fundamental drivers of your business. So let's break it down. First up, glance views, or GV. This is basically your traffic. It's the number of eyeballs you get on your product pages. This is the very top of your funnel. The big question here is, are you reaching enough people? Are you actually expanding your audience? Okay, next up is conversion rate, or CVR. This is all about how effective you are at turning those viewers into actual buyers. And this is a massive multiplier. Think about it. Improving your conversion rate makes every single one of those glance views you generate that much more valuable. And finally, we have average selling price, or ASP. This is all about your price. Are you protecting your brand's value? Are you pushing sales of your higher margin products? Or are you just chasing volume with steep discounts? All right, now for the important part. Let's connect the dots. When you make ROAS your North Star, you unknowingly start to distort and even break each one of these essential growth levers. First, chasing ROAS starves your glance views. You see, those big awareness campaigns that bring in new customers, they tend to have a lower immediate ROAS. So what happens? They're the first thing to get cut. All your budget starts to flow to the very bottom of the funnel. You get a great ROAS, sure, but you're shrinking your pool of future buyers. You've stopped filling the top of your funnel. Second, it masks serious conversion problems. A high ROAS can be like a smiling mask, hiding all these underlying issues. You're celebrating a 5-to-1 ROAS and you stop asking, hey, why isn't this a 10-to-1?
You start to ignore huge problems like a weak product page, bad reviews, or high shipping costs, the things that are the real barriers to converting customers.
And third, chasing ROS absolutely kills your average selling price. You know it. What's the easiest way to boost ROS in the short term? A big discount. Your ROS report looks amazing, but you're just sacrificing your margins, training your customers to only buy when there's a sale, and eroding your brand's value for the long haul.
Let me tell you a quick story. Let's call them Brandco. They're growing steadily, advertising a premium $200 coffee maker. Revenue is up, but the ROS is only 2-to-1, which makes some folks nervous. So they pivot. They cut all the awareness ads, focus only on retargeting, and slap on a big coupon. And boom, ROS jumps to 5-to-1. Everyone's celebrating. But then you fast forward 3 months, and growth is completely stalled. They've stopped bringing in any new customers, and they've taught their existing ones to only buy on discount. The business is actually shrinking, but that ROS report looks fantastic.
So how do we avoid falling into the Brandco trap? Well, it really requires a fundamental shift, from chasing a single metric to adopting a true growth mindset.
Here's your new playbook, and it's built directly on that growth formula. Number 1, prioritize glance views. You have to actively invest in reaching new people, even if the immediate ROS is a little bit lower. Number 2, obsess over your conversion rate. Treat your product pages and your whole customer experience like they are your most important marketing assets. And number 3, protect your average selling price. Use promotions strategically, not as a crutch just to hit some efficiency target.
Look, let me be really clear here. ROAS isn't evil. It is a useful tool. Just think of it like the MPG gauge in your car. It's good information to have, but it is not your destination. ROAS is a health check, not your North Star.
And that really leaves us with this final, most important thought. If you want to build a brand that actually lasts, that grows year after year, your focus has to shift. Because true, sustainable growth, it doesn't come from squeezing just a little more efficiency out of the customers you already have. It comes from constantly and consistently acquiring new ones.